Hi everybody, welcome to my channel, and after a long time, today we are going to discuss a small topic on NEBOSH International Environmental Diploma, a small video. After a long time, I did not have much time on this. So here what we are going to discuss today is, I recommend you to use headphones because I don't have any points written over here, so better to use the headphone for more understanding. So, NEBOSH International Environmental Diploma mainly consider the industries and the processes and activities. Of course, these are the things which usually produce the hazards to the environment. For example, an organization activity, product, or services. These are what we are usually analyzing to predict the potential environmental impact. So I will consider some of the processes of industries usually we come around in our daily or industrial life. So what are the impacts of these specific industries or processes? For example, we have agricultural industries, those who are producing pesticides, herbicides, or fertilizers, and these can produce uh, impact to the environment. So agricultural industries usually uses pesticides, herbicides, or fertilizers or waste. So we can explain this thing in a broad way. So you need to think on about an agricultural field which uses pesticides, herbicides, and fertilizers. So based on this, you can analyze your particular question, what is given in NEBOSH International Diploma. So for example, an agricultural industry farm using pesticides, and if it is nearby a water body, it can cause eutrophication and nutrient overloading and this kind of things. And it also, if it is nearby, if it is in the barren land, it can cause soil pollution. So you need to think based on your background information, what impacts it can cause. And for example, if there is a brick manufacturing industry, for example, quarrying, and it can cause landscape changes, it can produce noise, it can produce a very high amount of dust, and when it will produce impacts to the air when because they are using transportation, trucks, etc. And it can cause water runoff when they are using water for mitigation of dust, and it can damage visual effects to natural resources, and it can produce noise, and it will use most of the energies like non-renewable energy resources like electricity, etc. So it can have many impacts. So you need to analyze the specific activity and the process and the services of each industries, and in a broad way using the flowchart or the process flowchart. So you can easily identify different potential environmental impacts. So what we discussed two, agriculture and brick manufacturing. For example, if you take another one, construction. Construction usually causes contaminated water runoff when they do dewatering. For example, they use various raw materials for construction activities, and it can cause dust and noise nuisances. Dust because they use many kind of construction machineries, and noise nuisance because of the use of various construction machineries. So each construction activity is different. So for example, building construction, road construction. So construction is a vast subject. So each one you need to take it separately and analyze the activities in the each construction site, element of the projects. So you need to analyze that and predict the impacts. And another example, if I take an industry, for example, food production. And in food production, there are effluent treatments plants. If there is no effluent treatment plants, the effluents containing food solids and fats and the cleaning chemicals or solid food waste or composition gases, for example, if they are using any kitchen, food production machineries, it can emit gases. So packaging, they use packaging activity, materials and machineries, and they use transportations. So these are all a very vast thing which you must analyze before you predict the impacts. So I am very briefly giving some industries or processes and its potential environmental impacts. For example, if you take another industry as an example, metal finishing industries. So they are using acids, alkalis, and their effluents can be very toxic and can contain metals. And they also use energy, electricity, and they may be using the generator for emergency purposes. And they can emit fumes like volatile organic carbons, that is VOCs, and they may be using detergents and toxic metals, and they can also have wastewater from metal finishing activities, cooling waters, etc. And maybe they are having sludge when they use the water treatment plants, and maybe they are not using at all, and then can have toxic metals, combustion gases from boilers, etc. can have. So I'm discussing only few things, so you have to go dig into these and find out more on these. And maybe for example, every organization, every even small establishments with 5 member employees may be having offices. So in the office, you use energy, air conditioning systems, and furnitures, hardwood furnitures, paper use. These are all we need to consider when we understand, when we identify the hazards, and also and what are the causes of, I mean, the impacts of these. And each one of the element inside an organization and their activity and their products and services must be taken into consideration when we, when we impact assessment is done, when we do the impact assessment. And for example, another industry I will like to make in front of you is the timber industries. So sustainability of raw materials. So you know what is sustainability, because we need to conserve the environment. We need to conserve our raw materials. We need to conserve our energy for the future generation without harming the environment. And what is total should be conserved. So when we are doing a sustainability study, we are making mainly we are intending to conserve the what is having in our earth. So sustainability of raw materials, and for example, now timber industry is considered. We need to conserve the raw materials of, because it's a it's a renewable, non-renewable resource, timber. So for the impacts can be timber cutting noise and dust from the sawdust, and the transportation of timber between the, the production process and delivery process. So we need to make very sure that what we are analyzing and in the impact assessment stage. So basically, we need to identify the hazards and surrounding receptors. So as it comes as source receptor pathways. So we need to identify the source in the industry, whatever industry we are considering, whatever organization we are considering, and through which how it is passes to the environment, and what are the environmental sensitive receptors that we are going to make the impact assessment. So I hope you have got some information about various industries generally we are considering, and the potential environment impacts of that industry. I know this is not a big class, so I would like you to comment what you really need for your, for your impact studies of impact assessments, or for your NEBOSH study help. NEBOSH International Diploma course is a vast syllabus, so I don't know what you need. So you need to comment and tell me what you need, so that I can try to help you. Thank you very much for listening this small tutorial. Have a nice day.